She-Hulk, one of the current talking trends on social media and the latest in what I consider to be the decline of Marvel Cinematics. By the time you're hearing me say these words, there's probably been about 4 episodes, and honestly, I've kind of fallen off of the series. Not that I was all that interested in the get-go. She-Hulk to me is a series of only if you're interested in the Marvel landscape and can accept that it's become a full-on comedy. Like, the MCU always had this little humor and snark that would be added to the characters, and the process kind of ruined them. Damn you for Fat Thor. And what did they do to Wong?
Just one. The Sorcerer Supreme, master of the mystic arts, leader and former librarian of Kamen.
Boring.
Alright, so obviously the show isn't for me. I've already got too much on my plate, and life's too short to waste on bad shows, and I don't care if you think it's a good show. You ain't gonna change my mind. But that being said, if you're watching this video, I hate to tell you that I'm not gonna be blindly hating on it, nor am I gonna praise it. I think the latter should be easy to understand in that regard. No, what I want to talk about is the online critique and discussion around this show, and She-Hulk is the latest in the online sphere, and what I'm referring to is that the show itself is essentially trying to stoke the flames of online controversy in an effort to promote itself. This shouldn't be any surprise. People doing this kind of controversial stuff actually does work. It's called hate viewing. Hate clicks. You get the idea. So let's back up a bit and talk about a scene from the show.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. But when I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
That was truly cringeworthy.
This scene was quickly brought up, and as you can expect, it caused a bit of a sting. For example, IMDb brought the scene up as a "you go girl" power scene. And I need to make a few things clear before we continue onwards. The first is up until this line.
Infinitely more than you.
What Jennifer Walters is saying isn't a problem. I'm well aware that women do go through a lot of issues in life, and dealing with everyday harassment is part of that. There's nothing wrong with pointing out that in a series. The issue comes at the infinitely more than you portion.
You triggered my trap card!
Because all of a sudden we're now playing a game of who has it worse. So for those who don't know, in the MCU, Bruce Banner has gone through a lot. A whole lot. He's been hunted by the military, he tried taking his own life, he was left with the burden of guilt that he failed to stop half the universe from being snapped out of existence, was put into intergalactic exile, and a number of his friends that he made over the course of this time and the Avengers were put in danger because of him, or died.
I didn't see an end, so I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out.
And Jen just acts like being catcalled and dealing with assholes tops that. I want to make it clear that I'm not looking to say that one suffered more than the other. That'd be hypocritical of the point that I'm trying to make about this scene here. Trauma and how others cope and live with the scars of said trauma should not be treated like a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where everyone pumps up their trauma points in order to smack down the opposing side. God damn it, stop using the gates on me! And Jen is well aware of Bruce's issues.
My life wasn't taken away.
Really? Oh, so you didn't wind up alone? Hiding away on some remote beach with no friends, no relationships, never seeing your family, and definitely not dealing with a decade's worth of trauma?
What the hell is this?
You also have to remember the reason for why Bruce and Jen are doing this training montage and why Bruce is doing stuff like this. It's because he doesn't want Jen to face the same struggles that he had to as a Hulk, especially considering that this is technically his fault in a sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not moments with some lousy degenerate douchebag who ruins the entire show with his negligence.
This is completely new ground for him, and frankly, there's no precedent that She-Hulk won't develop an alter ego that can take over. Hell, earlier in the episode, after Jen was gussied up by a bunch of women in a bar bathroom, and she was being hit on by some randos, she transformed and looked like she was about to attack them. What is Bruce supposed to think? Oh, and before we continue, I know a lot of people like to bring up Bruce had an abusive father in the comics, but those are in the comics, and as far as I'm aware, the MCU hasn't really touched on that, and it seems a bit much to bring up outside materials when this is a different continuity and the point is already been made. Getting back to the point, people were painting the scene as terrible because of the aforementioned context I brought up involving the character this was directed towards, and you have people who are trying to make excuses for it. By how I describe that, I'm sure you can imagine where I stand on that sort of debate. Yes, I gave my opinion on this scene in question, but I moved on eventually and observed things. And as you can imagine, things got worse.
Oh, you are way more fun than my last lawyer.
The scene itself, I don't care for. It's not bad, it's just a stupid joke. Something that the MCU has really done most of the time nowadays, but the problem is, you got people complaining and defending this scene, and even comparing it to other Marvel scenes like Star-Lord dancing, and saying, what's wrong with this, if you're okay with that? Which, as someone who's not a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, can I say this is a really dumb comparison. Star-Lord was dancing as a distraction before a bad guy, and She-Hulk was a post-credit scene. Honestly, if you have to remove context from scenes in order to compare them, you're not making a good point, you're lying. And people are willing to demonize anyone who disagrees with them. And this is for both sides. This is what I'm getting at with online critique and discussion. No one really wants to engage in good faith debate. Everyone is willing to just act like the other side of the conversation is worse and their interpretation and experience is the only view of it. Ironically enough, this reminds me of the scene where Jen brings up the
infinitely more than you.
Because we can never just have an honest discussion without attacking another person to build us up. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, because my odometer ticked over during the production of this video, or that I'm just getting tired of seeing this happen again and again and again and again. What doesn't help is that the show is doing things to actively antagonize and bait people who will be less than happy with this.
Took the whole manhood away, but then they gave it to a woman?
That last one doesn't make any sense in the context of the world, since superheroes aren't fictional characters, they're real! So, look, you wanna know what to do with this if you don't want content like this to thrive? You don't want these idiots who are clearly arguing in bad faith? Don't engage! Don't interact! Don't give them the attention that they're clearly desperately trying to cling on to. Because if it isn't obvious from what I've shown you in the video, it's clear that people like this aren't interested in honesty. They aren't interested in actually debating their points. The more you engage, the more you're going to lend credence to these arguments simply by giving them attention. And I know, funny coming from me, but at this point, this type of debate isn't really worth having, especially in the current internet culture where people aren't actually interested in debating their points, because that would mean they could be proven wrong. And they can't have that! Again, I'm not acting like I'm above this behavior, but at the very least, I do not attack other people with this stuff, nor do I act like my side in the debate is automatically the saints in the situation and automatically demonize the other side. I mean, if you say something stupid, I will call you out, but I'll actually prove that you said something stupid and not just dismiss you. Man, this video was talking about how She-Hulk is just mid-tier. How the hell did I end up here? Look, I miss the time where we can criticize and say things without being demonized. But hey, I'm just what do I know? Then again, I got used to this whenever I criticize Life is Strange. Then again, people don't actually like to watch the videos they complain about and just take whatever people say is on face value on Twitter. Twitter is a hell site. But yeah, just making a small video on this. I'm MangaKamen, and have a good day. I need some booze. Actually, hold up, this is post-editing comment, and I did want to add something else into the fray. I'm sorry if this is going to come off a little jumbled, but that's just how I am, and that's how social media and how it's essentially turned into a race to see who's right and who's wrong. And they're on the spin of politics, and honestly, it's tiring. Like, a show just can't be disliked by someone. You can't just dislike a show and express your opinion on it without some schmuck going, well, actually, or, how dare you dislike this show? Are you an insert buzzword here? I honestly dislike She-Hulk. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't find it funny, and the only reason why I would even review this show or touch it again is if someone gets to this part of the video where I go, pay me $1,000 and I'll review one episode of She-Hulk. Ugh. Knowing how many times that joke's actually been fulfilled, I may have to end up eating my own words sometime in the future. I hope I don't, though! But as someone who touts himself as a critic, I find myself in a weird predicament, and it's an experience that I've had before because of how if you show distaste for something and explain your reasons for it, especially in video format, and it's your quote-unquote job to do so, you'll be treated by dirt by people who disagree with you. And it's something that I kind of hate about the internet nowadays. Now, I'm not saying that critics are victims, or they never get things wrong. Trust me. I'm well aware that critics out there can be extremely wrong and obnoxious, but that doesn't give an excuse to treat them like they're the devils. I, like many people, believe that criticism is necessary for society to evolve, especially our media.
Well, the doy, son.
But at the same time, it's a fine line, and it's a line that I've been seeing with She-Hulk. And I admit, it's tempting to get on the bandwagon and review every episode of the show, all the while stoking the flames of controversy and maybe making a lot of people mad, but at the same time getting a lot of views and new people to my channel, even though that's not what I want my channel to be about. I'm just getting tired of seeing this. And I know, rich coming from me, the guy who's criticized a lot of this material like Life is Strange, High Guardian Spice, that stupid anime-esque show. I forget what its name is. I'm sure my editor will remind me. But I think you guys get my points. I don't like reviewing this material, but I feel like I may have to continue doing so in the future if I want to get more people talking to me about this stuff. And I do feel like this is a topic that should be discussed, that our social media is diminishing our critique ability. We can't have decent conversations nowadays, and that honestly sucks. Although, if you ask me, I'm kind of getting tired of Marvel, and if I have my own superhero needs, I don't need Marvel to let me down. I still got good old tokusatsu. Like, oh my god! Commander Gates is looking so good right now! Forget Marvel, give me that Fox Armored Gunslinger in a game! Oh, yeah. I think we're done here. I'm MangaKamen, and, I don't know how to end this video now! Watch Kamen Rider Gates?
Bye, have a beautiful time.